Hi everybody, Golden Era Bookworm here, and today I want to briefly talk about the old school standing calf raise machine and why it is still one of the best ways to grow your calves and how to make your own, especially if you have a power rack. The calf raise machine was introduced back in the silver era and was initially designed as a simple wall-mounted lever system that allowed one to perform calf raises with weight attached by a chain. The simplistic machine and approach to calf development made calf development increasingly more impressive during those golden years of bodybuilding, and in comparison with the seated calf raise machine, enormous poundages can be used on the standing calf raise machine to achieve calf bulk, as demonstrated by Arnold, who was taught by Rich Park, of course. And when a full range of motion is employed with moderate weight, full development of that diamond shape in the calf muscle can be achieved. The seated calf raise cannot be loaded with enormous poundages, as it places way too much stress on the Achilles tendon when moving through a full range of motion, and in the seated calf raise machine, only the soleus is worked. The standing calf machine is also favored over other movements that came out of fashion after the golden era, and this is of course the donkey calf raise, which, although very popular and extremely effective as a calf builder, then at least, it allowed several people to be loaded, for example, on one's hips, and therefore allowed some serious poundage to be used. Nowadays, however, machines are used over people for several and obvious reasons, and this is then one less effective exercise that is overlooked for adding bulk to the calves. Although it is quite easy to perform the seated calf raise, the standing calf raise, and the donkey calf raise with either free weight, the general issue is overloading, especially with the standing calf raise. For these reasons, machines tend to be employed, but these can set you back quite a bit in cash, and they take up a lot of space. So I found a quick and easy way of recreating a calf raise machine similar in mechanics to the old school calf raise machine that doesn't even require it to be wall mounted. Instead, if you own a power rack, it is very easy to create an attachment that allows the same function of a calf raise machine. The power rack in this case will act as the frame of the machine, and you simply create the attachments and the accessories that go with a calf raise machine, namely the calf block, the loaded weight pin, and the frame that sits on your shoulders and is attached to the weight pin. Now, I found these plans online from homegymbodybuilding.com and realized how easy it was to make. So I bought the list of materials as listed, which cost me about $50, and began assembling the calf raise machine. In this video, I explain how easily I made my own calf raise attachments for my power rack. Hi everybody, just going to show you how I made my own calf raise machine, or attachment I should say, for my power rack. I hope the angle of the camera is okay, but it's really easy. It has kind of like three major parts. You've got the weight pin, which is the easiest thing to make, the calf block itself, where you actually perform the calf raises, you put your feet on, and this kind of A bracket. You know, it's not really an A, but it kind of looks like an A. Made out of what you can see, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces of wood. So let's go through each piece together and it will make sense to you. Firstly, let's just go through the weight pin. I'll take this little weight off. And essentially, I went to the plumbers and I got myself just a pipe, right? And the pipe actually screws on to this bit at the bottom to form this metallic kind of a weight pin. The diameter, though, I thought was a little too small and therefore too wobbly for my Olympic weights. So I basically put these plastic pipes to make the diameter wider. But you just basically use piping with this circular base, right? You tighten it up, and at the top I put, as you can see, this kind of, I don't know what the names for these things are, but this kind of thing. I screwed it on. You can see the area where you screw it on, and drew a hole right? And as I drew the hole, I drew it big enough to put this kind of a screw with a circle. I don't know what the name for these things are. So that I could then put a chain here, right? So I'll put this thing in there, and you know, it's held well over 100 kilos, and it's fantastic. So that's how I made my own weight pin, right? This thing at the top with the circle. Basically, I make sure that I read the capacity of the weight that these things can hold to make sure that I don't hurt myself. And as I said, to change the diameter, all I do is literally place these plastic kind of pipes through to change the diameter, and that's the third setting where it allows an Olympic weight, you can see how tight that is, to go through. And that's basically my weight pin, which I then attach to this chain, right, which attaches, which attaches to the frame, which I'm going to talk about now. The frame, which is right here, really easy to make. I'll tell you quickly the dimensions. As you can see, it's kind of like an A frame with this bit in the middle, right? And it looks like an A, except for this thing, right? So these bits that are longer are about 70 to 80 centimeters long. These bits, this bit at the top of the A is just, I think it's about 30 centimeters. There's two of them, and two here at the bottom. And then this bit is about 40 centimeters, and it goes across. So you put these bits together, you just screw them in, one to these two, and these two to these two, and that creates what you call an A-frame. Now, why have I done it this way with this beam running across? Well, if I turn it around now, you can see that there's a bolt running through it again with one of these rings, so that therefore when I put my chain, I have somewhere to attach the chain to, right? And so I attach it there, then that chain attaches to the weight pin, and now I can load this frame up. The frame itself on the other side, right? Here's the other side of the frame. I basically just used bits of gym mat, flooring from the gym mat to create this kind of a more cushiony, more comfortable kind of cushion for my shoulders, because this is where my actual shoulders get loaded with this frame, right? That means that if this is the bit that's going on my shoulders, right, and you can see the weight would hang from here, I'll give you a demonstration in a few minutes. That means that here there's got to be some kind of a lever system, and there is. I basically, once I constructed this frame, this A-frame, and I put it upside down, you can see here there's a hole, and there's a hole on the other end. And that's where I put a metal dowel through, which is already sitting right here, right? That goes through the frame, and then I can attach the whole thing onto my power rack, and then I've got a lever system, right? I've got this lever system that attaches this frame to this weight pin via a chain, and I can load this weight pin with as much weight as I like. Finally, the calf block, which is here, made with the same type of wood. I've got 3 pieces here. They're about, again, I would say 35 to 40 centimeters. The top bit is about 40 to 50 centimeters, and these bits at the end, they're about 15 centimeters each. Again, just in this case, 5 pieces of wood, right? In total, that's about 3 to 4 inches off the floor, so it's a 4-inch high block, and it allows me to do the calf raises. I'm just going to do a quick demonstration as to how I put all this together and perform my calf raises. So you can now see the power rack, and it's very simple. I grab the frame, okay. Oops, it's upside down. Firstly, got to turn it around, and you can see the holes are there, right? So I'm basically just going to put this metal through. It's really easy. Once you got all the pieces. Right, there's my lever system. Okay, that's the lever system. This I now place on the supports on my power rack. Just make sure it's all centered. That's about right. And you can see now that it's on my power rack, and as I raise it, that goes on my shoulders. And here is that pin. Hope you can see it. I'm going to put the chain on. It's going to attach to the weight pin. That's it. So finally, I've been able to set the chain up. As I said, I just connect the weight pin here, wire that ring to the chain, to the frame, and I get under this cushiony bit, put that on my shoulders, and away I go. And at the bottom, of course, I can set up my calf raise. It's that simple. So I do hope you have enjoyed watching this video on the standing calf raise machine and how easy it is to create your own attachments for a power rack. If you've enjoyed the video, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't to the Golden Era Bookworm, and leave me your comments. Thanks for watching again. And yeah, that's it for me. This is the Golden Era Bookworm. Hope you enjoyed the video. Bye for now. Now, if you're interested in learning more about Vince Gironda's approach to bodybuilding, his principles, and all these tips of wisdom that he has, I mean, there's so much stuff that probably hasn't been proven by science, and it will take science to prove or disprove Vince. But to be honest, these 3 books, I believe, which I call the Classic Physique Bundle, are the best books that Vince ever came out with. And they, of course, are the Wild Physique, the Master Series, and the Pro Series. Have a look at it this way. The Wild Physique, I believe, is like the ABCs of Vince Gironda's principles to bodybuilding. He teaches you the exercises and his principles, but how do you put them together? Well, the Master Series is a 14-month program of using all of these principles, all of the diets that Vince came out with, all of the exercises, and believe me, it's a brilliant, brilliant program. Many people have used it. I know personally a lot of bodybuilders that have actually used it and made fantastic results with it. And of course, the Pro Series was a book that he came out with later on, specially targeted for getting into competition. It's just these 3 books, as I call it, the Classic Physique Bundle, Vince's best work, and available, of course, at www.goldenerabookworm.com. Now, the Pro Series of Bodybuilding, which was targeted for professional bodybuilders, contains 6 programs, each of which go for 2 months each. So it's a whole year, again, in preparation for competition. Need a bodybuilding poster for your gym or office? Then check out Ironman Magazine archive.smugmug.com for the highest quality posters on the planet. Scroll through the galleries of all the legends, including greats such as Arnold, Frank Zane, Sergio Oliva, Serge Nubret, Tom Platz, and Larry Scott, and much, much more, and select your poster now. To support your favorite YouTube channel, please visit teespring.com/stores/Golden Era Bookworm for merchandise, including t-shirts, hoodies, face masks, phone cases, and much, much more. Once again, at teespring.com/stores/Golden Era Bookworm. Become a patron at www.patreon.com/Golden Era Bookworm for hard to find books, scans of rare photos, and articles on the Golden Era of bodybuilding. To take full advantage of my collaborations, use code GEB20 with NSPnutrition.com and VinceGironda.com, as well as code Bookworm12 at OSL.com for a discount at checkout.